When running any business, if you're not on top of your numbers, then you're in trouble. Understanding whether your business is profitable or not is essential, and of course, that applies to Amazon FBA businesses as well. Calculating your sales and your profit with one product and a few orders is fairly straightforward to do manually, but as your sales and the number of products that you have grows, you're going to need an easier way to see how much money you're actually making. Now, over the past year or so, I've been using 3 different tools to help me quickly see which products of mine are selling well and how much profit I'm making on a daily basis. These tools include Helium 10, Feedback Whiz and Shopkeeper. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of each and how accurate they are when it comes to the information that they give on sales and profits. Helium 10 launched its profits tool fairly recently in its efforts to become the most comprehensive all-in-one suite for Amazon sellers. Now, the tool allows you to see the key pieces of information about your Amazon business that you'd expect to see. So that includes daily, weekly, and monthly sales figures, sales trends, and of course, profits. One of the features that I like the most about Helium 10's profits tool is that you can set it to send you a daily, weekly, and monthly email where it summarizes your sales and your profits by product. Or you can even download the Helium 10 app and see your sales and profit summary live on your phone, which is quite a cool feature. Now, unfortunately, Helium 10's profits tool isn't available standalone, but you can get it on the starter package, which is $37 per month, and even cheaper if you use my discount code, the link for which is in the description of this video. Now, in my view, the Helium 10 profits tool alone isn't enough of a reason to subscribe to Helium 10, especially if you're in the UK. Over the past year, I found that the sales and profit results given by the Helium 10 profits tool have never been completely accurate. Sales numbers have always been off by as much as 10 orders or so, and profit figures have just been completely incorrect. Yesterday, for example, I sold 109 units and made roughly £250 profit, but Helium 10's tool tells me that I sold 117 units and I made £570 profit, which would have been nice if it was true. Now, the reason for the inaccuracies apparently is because Amazon provides its sales data to Helium 10 on US time rather than UK, where I'm based, which means that the profit tool is downloading daily sales and profit figures on US time, hence the inaccuracy. Now, I'm not really sure why Helium 10 can't adjust for this, because the other 2 tools that I use, Feedback Whiz and Shopkeeper, they don't have this problem. Now, additionally, Helium 10 doesn't seem to factor in VAT into its profit figures, and some days it will just fail to pull my advertising spend through at all. So it will show a 0 advertising spend, and that will then give me a ridiculously high profit amount, which gets me all excited until I realize that it's completely wrong. So in conclusion, I think that Helium 10's profits tool is just about okay to use if you already have a current subscription, because it's kind of free. But to me, it feels like a bit of a half-baked product that was essentially rushed out just so Helium 10 could say that they have a profits tool. That said, if you are based in the US, it's probably going to be a bit more accurate for you. But if you're anywhere else, especially in the UK, then I think it's a bit of a waste of time, and it's only really useful to have a basic understanding of the direction of your sales and profits. So whether you've had a high level of sales versus the previous week or previous month, for example. The second profits tool that I've been using is one by a company called Feedback Whiz, who will probably be known to a lot of you because they're the provider of automated Amazon emails, which help to improve review rates. Now, Feedback Whiz have also launched their own profits and sales tool, which, unlike Helium 10's offering, can actually be bought on its own from as little as $20 per month. This profits feature is still relatively new at the time of filming, So the analysis that it provides isn't quite as detailed as what you might find with Helium 10 or Shopkeeper. But that said, it does have some really cool features, one of which is the sales summary, which will tell you in a nice little table exactly how many sales you've made and what products have sold the most. And the great thing about this is it's actually correct. It matches what's on Amazon. So the time difference problem that Helium 10 faces isn't an issue with Feedback Whiz. Now, one feature that Feedback Whiz is missing is the daily or weekly summary email. And in addition to that, there's no app either. So you can only really check if you log in at your computer. So it's quite basic when you compare it to Helium 10 and Shopkeeper. But at the very least, the information is correct. It's synced to Amazon. And when I checked my sales figures for yesterday, it tied up. So happy days. Whilst Feedback Wiz's profits tool is certainly more accurate than Helium 10's from a sales standpoint, the profits calculator for me wasn't completely correct and didn't factor in costs that people outside of the US may face, so VAT for example. In conclusion, I think that Feedback Wiz has got some great potential, but when compared to Shopkeeper, which starts at the same price, it's completely blown out of the water. So let's now cover my favorite tool out of the three, and that is Shopkeeper. Unlike Helium 10 and Feedback Wiz, who came out with their profits tools as ancillary features, Shopkeeper's sole purpose is to give you sales and profits data on your Amazon business, and you can really tell. The dashboard is clean and it gives you a ton of useful information such as sales history, growth, inventory levels and value, and so much more. And most importantly, the information that it actually gives you is accurate, and you can see here it's correctly telling me that I sold 109 units yesterday, and the profit figure is also more or less correct. This pinpoint accuracy comes down to the fact that Shopkeeper thinks about every single fee that Amazon sellers may come across, no matter where they're based in the world. So that means that VAT is indeed factored in, which is a cost that is pretty much ignored by Helium 10 and Feedback Wiz in their profits tools. For me, Shopkeeper is the profits tool to get if you are an Amazon seller, especially if you sell more than one product, as it makes understanding what sells best a piece of cake. And one feature that you may also like is that you can keep the Shopkeeper tab open in the background, and whenever you make a sale, you'll hear a nice cha-ching sound and you'll get a notification. So that's something to brighten up your day. Shopkeeper also recently released an app which is still being developed to include more features, but for me it contains everything that I need it to. Every single morning I can open the app and I can quickly check how many sales I made yesterday, and most importantly, I can see how much profit I made. So in terms of accuracy, for me, Shopkeeper is spot on when it comes to sales and total profit. That said, I have been made aware by a couple of people in the Facebook groups and in the YouTube comments that sometimes the pay-per-click advertising spend won't include VAT, or it doesn't include it at all, but that only is going to impact those of you that aren't VAT registered, so it's not a problem that I've ever faced. Despite that, I think it's a relatively minor drawback given it's very accurate elsewhere, and it takes into account the 72 other fees that Amazon charge you for. So of the three tools that I've used over the past year, this one is easily my favorite. Pricing wise, Shopkeeper starts at $20 a month, and if you use my link in the description, you'll get your first 2 months completely for free. So if you are an Amazon seller, I'd highly encourage you to register and get it. It costs nothing. So those are my thoughts on the three tools that I've used over the past year. Whether you are a big seller or not, keeping on top of your figures is essential. You don't want to be unknowingly running at a loss. So if you don't want to pay for a tool like Shopkeeper, Helium 10 and Feedback Wiz, I'd say at least make sure that you're calculating your profits manually, which you can do yourself, or even with my free profits calculator that you can download from the link in the description. But if you don't want to do that, or if you've got more than one product, I would highly recommend you to check out Shopkeeper or even Helium 10 and Feedback Wiz. It's better than nothing. So hopefully you have enjoyed this video. There's discount links to all 3 tools in the description. Let me know which one you prefer in the comments, and I will see you next time.